Welcome to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. Let's give him the business.
Hey everybody, for this podcast episode, we had Robin, aka Grimmcore, over at Iron Gate on to do an interview. And it just so happened to be his birthday this past Wednesday, and he decided to spend his birthday evening with us. How awesome is that? So we had an interview with him and we brought him onto our server, and we have a little surprise for him, and I won't spoil that for you. But unfortunately, I was actually not able to attend this interview and birthday surprise because I had to attend to a family health issue. However, Gwen, Morning Darkness, and Tolkis, my co-hosts and admins on my server, conducted the interview, and they did an amazing job. I'm very excited to share this interview and birthday surprise with you. So that said, let's get right to it.
So hello everybody. Today is the 20th of April and I'm your host Gwen the Shield Maiden, and joining me today are my fellow Vikings, Shield Maiden Morning Darkness.
Oh, thank you. thank you.
And with us we have Jarl Tolkis.
Hello.
And Jiroc couldn't be here today, but we do have a special guest with us. So please welcome Grimmcore from Iron Gate. Hi, Grim.
Hello, I am he. I'm him, Grimmcore.
And a little bird told us that today was your birthday.
Yes, it is. It is 38 years ago. I was born in Sweden, but quickly swept away to New Zealand. My father is from New Zealand, so we lived on the Fiji Islands for. Yes, it's my birthday, basically. Yes, sorry for the.
No, it's amazing. I didn't know that you had connections on the other side of the world, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And we are so honored that you chose to spend your birthday evening with us, the Valheim community.
Oh, no, it was an obvious choice. A Wednesday, a nice Wednesday. I mean, it's just a normal day, but people tend to say happy birthday today. I guess it's nice.
Yeah, and so you were telling us that the Iron Gate team actually prepared, did something for your birthday. Do you want to talk about that?
Oh, absolutely. They didn't actually prepare as much as well. I was talking on the phone in my office, and everyone was waiting outside for me to come out of the office. So we were going to go eat lunch, and I was talking on the phone, hang up the phone, and so there's a window, and they can see me talking in there, and I didn't even notice them all standing outside. I opened the door and everybody starts clapping their hands, like big nice applaud. I was like, oh nice. So I just closed the door and went back into the office. And then I opened the door again, and oh nice, they started to applaud again, and then I closed the door. And I was just gonna see if this was gonna continue, so I did this like 3 times.
Ay.
So
amazing.
Basically, as soon as I went through a door, they started clapping their hands, which meant that when we came outside the office, there were people on the street, and I was the last one out of the office, and they started clapping their hands, and everyone turned around and looked, what's going on? And it was that kept going the whole day today. As soon as I entered the room or went through a door, they clapped their hands.
That's hilarious. I love a bit of office trolling. That's great.
It was fun, yeah.
All right. So we wanted today to show you a couple of things. We've got a build to show you, and we've got a couple of questions. Obviously, we're live on both Twitch and YouTube, and we'll be taking questions on the live chat. So everyone, feel free to just pop in the chat and ask your questions. And for now, let's go this way. We'll take you through to the Great Hall, which I'm not sure you saw last time you visited the server.
Oh, I'm not sure. I've no, probably no.
Yeah, so you will see the Great Hall, which we built pretty early on in the server, I guess, like maybe a month or two in. It was built by our fellow admin and Podheimer Thorin, that you probably know. He's Metarune on YouTube. And he he's one of our master builders. He built this beautiful hall, and we use it usually for after we do server events, we all gather in the Great Hall, and that's usually when we also distribute prizes and things like that. It's also a hall where we've got the names of the Jiroc's elite patrons and so on. Hi, Canaris.
Hello.
All right, so we will first go to the Great Hall, and then Canaris will show us the other build that he's been working on with the community. So let's go up here. And one of my favorite things of this entrance is those vines you can see on the side.
Yeah.
It looks so cool.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wish we could build
Plant
those in
them?
vanilla.
Yeah.
Yes.
That would be nice, wouldn't it? Being able to plant the vines and just have them grow on the sides of your building.
Yep, I totally agree. Yes, I totally agree.
All right. Oh, what happened here? Oh no, destruction.
Oh, nice.
Oh no.
This looks like Valheim.
Yes. Something happened.
Oh no.
Wait,
We
is this
had a
some kind of
chandelier here.
mystery?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, it's a murder mystery. Who killed the cultist
All right.
chandelier?
I see.
Oh no.
Beautiful chandelier done by Bambi.
Yeah.
Oh,
guess
it
it's
must have
loaded
been
in-
a drake in the belfry.
Yeah, I think it's probably a drake. Those pesky drakes.
Oh.
That's a problem with builds like this where you've got big open windows or holes in the
And
wall.
I tried to close
yeah.
them too.
Oh well, we'll rebuild
so the
it.
Drakes are the prime suspect here, or
I think
Oh,
so.
yeah.
This is
Yeah,
turning
they're
into a
always the
murder
ones
mystery.
going
Hmm.
after the chandelier. I've done many repair in this room for that same reason.
Yeah,
but-
usually it's the tables that are destroyed with everything, all the decorations on them somehow. But yeah, this time the chandelier
Oh,
was
yeah.
the victim. So sorry, Bambi.
Oh, we were
It
so
still looks
happy.
good though.
Yeah. The sides over here, you can see how it's supposed to look like. But for context, about a week ago, I think we did like a server event. Jiroc organized a. Canaris saying it's modern art. Yeah, it is. It's deconstructed art. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, about a week ago, we did a server build competition, a chandelier build competition. And so the winner was Bambi with this build that she initially, the chandelier she initially made in her base. But as she was the winner of the competition, she was allowed to come and replicate it in the Great Hall. So yeah, we'll make sure to fix it after all this.
And
But-
you have the statues here as
Mhm.
well. They're nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I just have someone asking in my Twitch chat what mod gives us these deer statues, and I believe it's just part of dev commands, but Infinity
Yeah.
Hammer does help to place them.
Yeah.
Yes, it's with admin commands you can spawn in those.
Exactly.
statues.
Yeah, so you can spawn them in with dev commands, but you have to, if you want them to be placed specifically, you have to use an Infinity Hammer.
Hmm. Yeah, there's one of the mods that we allow on the server, and Grim, you probably know that from your last visit, is the all stands mod, which allows you to put pretty much any item on item stands, which is why sometimes you'll see things like these moda tiers on an item stand.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. That is probably one of my favorite things, is to be able to put those on stands.
Yeah, they look really cool.
Yeah, I like it when it becomes like this glowing blue glass orb.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's
so-
really, really nice.
So while we're here and just kind of taking a quick look around the Great Hall, do you want to talk a bit about... Oh, something's attacking the walls out there.
Uh-oh.
I hope it's not a wolf. Probably is,
I've
though.
got 23 HP. I don't have any food, so
yes.
I'm gonna.
Let's try to ignore that wolf. Hopefully, oh no, it's coming up. Oh, it just disappeared.
Okay, promise I can kill it. Got it.
Yeah, we should be fine. So Grimmcore, do you want to maybe?
There's another one.
Oh,
Hold
wow.
on.
Okay, we've got a flying wolf there. Interesting.
Where? Oh, I better go inside if he's flying.
Yeah, it was a bit laggy. Well, it was inside, so I'm not sure you'll be safe.
Yeah, it's inside.
I can't see it. Oh, no, I can see it now. Well, that is your typical visit at the Great Hall is get attacked by stuff.
I don't want to swing the sword that I have on this character because it'll just damage everything.
Yeah, you stay up there on the deer. That's a good idea.
Yep, you're good. All safe.
So while we slowly make our way to the birthday cave, to the cave that we have prepared, the birthday cave. Oops! Spoilers. Do you want to talk a bit about your role at Iron Gate, what you're currently working on?
Yeah. Okay, so I'm Grimmcore, also known as my real name is Robin Eyre. I'm on paper. It says that I'm employed as a 3D artist. I'm basically a generalist, which I do anything from concept art to illustration, animation, 3D models, and basically all that. I'm the first employee at Iron Gate, so it was basically me, Richard, and Henrik when Iron Gate started. What else? I sit in a small office in a little town or a city called Skövde in Sweden, where I sit and do crazy stuff and make stuff up and put them into the game, or give it to Richard and Jonathan, and they put that into the game. Valheim, that is.
Cool. So as we visit this frost cave, we'll be pointing at every single new item and be like, did you make this? Did you make this? Yeah. Was it you? All right.
The roles have actually changed a lot since we've gotten more people into the company. Lisa, now I'm mostly doing a lot of concept art, and still we're working on Mistlands currently. Still producing a lot of things for that. So a lot of the time I'll be doing the concept art and the designing of it, and then handing it over. We'll checking in with Richard, like, is this okay? Is this what we want? And then he says yes, or he says no. Then I make new concept art, or if it's done, I'll give it to Lisa, and Lisa will probably model it, or we'll put it into the to-do list, and we will see who gets there first.
Cool.
That's basically, it's anything you see in the game is anything art-wise, I guess, is probably me or Lisa who have done the models, at least.
Nice. Yeah, and I must say, I think everyone probably would agree that the Frost Caves and the design work you've done on them, on the mobs and everything in the Frost Caves is incredible. It really feels like a big, like a next level, and we're really excited to see what comes next with the Mistlands.
Speaking of the Frost Caves, as you can see, we've done a little creative license in here. We've used the mod that allows us to build in dungeons. I know there's a little bit of a debate among the staff as to whether or not we should be allowed to build in dungeons, but this might give you an idea of what people can do.
No, absolutely. We wanted to. I remember Jonathan made one of the rooms in caves, a very, very unique room, which I don't think it actually popped up that much, but it was basically a deep hole with a little lake in it, and you couldn't actually get up from that really deep hole, so you had to build your way out of there. So we were discussing trying to put in building just to get out of that hole, but it didn't make sense because of the dungeons and how they're set up. People might go there without timber, without wood and everything, and wouldn't be able to get out of the big hole. So if we had introduced it earlier in the game, mechanics like that, I think people would be more prepared to go into dungeons, and we could have like a different kind of mechanic in the dungeon where you actually have to build to get to certain places, which I still think is a really cool idea, but you need to teach the players that this might happen. So you have to be prepared, so it doesn't just pop up later in the game and you're just stuck because you were exploring, which is kind of punishing.
Yeah, makes sense. And for now, just for people who are seeing us on video and asking about how we're building inside the caves, it's because we allow a mod that allows us to build in any dungeons on the server. But otherwise, if you play vanilla, you can't build in caves at the moment. But that might change.
Right. Grim, do you want to enter the first room and see what your destiny will be?
Is it?
I have heard that it's you can. Oh, are you sneaking?
Whoa! That was scary. No, there's some big serpent's head in here.
I will show the stream what's going on in there. Boom! There you go. Wow. You get greeted by this lovely serpent head.
Nice. When we created the serpent was actually because one of the people at Coffee Stain, his name is Sebastian. There was long before early access, and we're just talking about how to get the spread to get Valheim out in people's like social media and try to find Valheim and so on. And the serpent pretty much came to life because we wanted to just make a little video like, what if you're out in the sea, and what if there were sea serpents? So actually, just because trying to get some attention, we made the sea serpent.
It's lovely.
One week.
That first scream when I heard the sea serpent, holy cow!
Terrifying. Because
I am not easily jump scared, and I screamed.
Yeah.
And my baby was asleep on my lap, and he was not happy.
Yeah, it's not only terrifying, it's the scream, but also the fact that the whole screen shakes and your boat shakes and you're like, oh my God, I need to get out now.
I'm gonna die.
Yeah.
The Sea Serpent is my favorite videos in the beginning of early access was just watching people on Twitch or on YouTube when they found the Sea Serpent the first time. So it's still my favorite memories from early access when we just released it.
Yeah, the reactions.
Yes. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Oh, look at some of these book titles. These are great. Canaris, you did such a good job.
Yeah. Do you want to talk us through, Canaris? Do you want to talk us through the this room and like the theme that goes with it?
This room basically is inspired by Valheim. So all of the books have something to do with Valheim. You know, it's like small Easter eggs here and there just to enjoy a little bit because it's supposed to be the Forsaken Library.
Oh, yeah. And the library is fantastic. I'm just going to read out some of the book titles. So we've got Secrets of the Bard of Valheim, King of All Realms, Richard, Origins of Valheim. Then we've got Tales of the Abomination, Fueling and Their Totems, Who Was Aether, Root of All Elders, Dark Art of Bone Mass, Moda's Sorrow, and Origin of Yagluth. That's cool. Like that. And the library made out of the signs and items. It's all signs, isn't it? That you use for the books, and then using the shutters as part of the library and the cupboard. It looks really amazing.
It's really, really well done.
Oh, there's more books here. Frost Caves, Sunken Crypts, Burial Chambers, and Golems. Cool.
Will you be adding to the collection of books here, or have you found all the books that you need?
Well, we know that there's 2 more biomes to go, right?
Ooh, interesting.
And I believe there are more books to look at. And I'm currently working on a creative build and have an entire spreadsheet full of book titles myself.
Wait, something's wrong with...
Something's wrong with?
With the bone mass trophy.
Is it?
Why is it just green?
Oh, it might be the lighting in the cave.
All right.
Is
it supposed to be
helpful?
different colors? It's like green and a bit yellow, isn't it?
Brown. Yeah, it's cascading different colors.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I'm going to look at something tomorrow.
Work never stops for the Iron Gate team. All right. So, Canaris, where to next?
Then we have the room right across.
Oh.
Which is like for the best experience because, since Jiroc did put a whole bunch of crystals, when you run into the room, it's like, running into the galaxy. So,
oh, okay. So you have to run in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Ooh.
Wee.
Whoa.
Yeah, those crystals are really nice.
Oh,
Oh.
Only there was a mirror to see. How hilarious were all of thee. The fall elegant and prank free, and wonder in stone will set ye free.
Oh, we're stuck. We're in a prank room. Yeah, we can't jump up there. Uh-oh. Okay, so we have to solve the riddle now.
What's this?
Oh.
No.
Oh.
Wait, what? No.
Oh.
Wooden gate.
Oh,
yeah. You found the exit.
You found the way out.
Yay.
We're free. So
good
clever.
one. That was good.
Yeah, that's
you guys
fun.
couldn't hear it, but on my Twitch stream, someone just played the Star Wars Cantina music.
Oh, there's a VIP lounge over there.
Oh.
Nice.
Yeah. On this side, we have the VIP lounge and your private chambers.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Fancy. Fancy.
Private chambers. Wait. You thrown me into a prank room. The first thing was a serpent, and now I've got my private chambers. Mm-hmm. And there's a cultist head upon. All right. Okay.
Suspicious Grim.
Yes.
Nah, I think you'll be safe in this one. This is a lovely room.
Well, this is nice. It's really lovely.
Yeah, you even got some natural light from the ceiling.
This is my favorite chair.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I've got my favorite drink. I haven't actually. I think this is maybe the first time I see the drinking horn up close in game like this, because Lisa finished it after that stream, and I've been working way too much. I think I haven't actually played Valheim casually in a good while.
Yeah,
there's another set of books over here, and a bed for you to claim.
Where over here? Is this my bed?
This is your bed. So if ever you die or fall out of the cave, you'll spawn here.
Nice.
Oh, there's some nice adventure books here for you to read as well.
The subtle art of not giving a nice. Manners Maketh Viking. No, Maketh. Manners Maketh. Maketh Viking. Art of magic, the universe and its secrets, and bread theory. I like bread theory. It's
bread theory? Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
The Vikings of the Caribbean. That's a good one. It's one of my favorite tales.
Yeah, I like that one too.
Ted, Dave, and George. Oh, George. Ted, Dave, and George.
Yeah, also the chest has some food and stuff for you, so, since you come over to the server, you're usually without food, so.
Oh, nice. I'll have a bite.
Yeah, probably good idea, because I think after the VVIP lounge, it's a long descent to the heart of the cave, and hopefully no one will fall. Oh, you've got a nice apron on. Morning darkness. You've got your cape. Yeah, the cape is.
There are a couple of questions in chat.
Yeah,
we could answer really quick. Like one was, since they were talking about serpents and biomes, are there any plans to add more wildlife to the ocean? Like, for example, sharks or anything like that? Can you talk
we have
about that?
we have ideas for making the oceans more interesting. I mean, we've got fish. I personally don't like to fish. I don't think the mechanic in Valheim fishing is that interesting. Hopefully, we will be making it better with fishing. I don't think I've actually played a playthrough of Valheim and actually thought, oh wait, I need some fish, which is actually pretty sad. So that needs a bump. We need some cousins to the serpents, and we need some bigger cousins, I guess. I would like, but also I think what was actually really lacking in the oceans is something flying in the air, something that can actually follow you, not just in the water, but actually follow you up on land or.
No.
Yeah. Flying serpents. Yep.
Flying serpents. Oh my god.
Yeah. There are people say they're scared of spiders in the Mistlands. That's something to be scared of right now. Flying serpents.
Oh yeah, stuff of nightmares.
Yeah.
All the spiders in Mistlands. Yes, be afraid of them. You should be.
Okay. And the other question was how someone heard several pronunciations of Eiktýr. How do you pronounce it, Grim?
Eiktýr.
Say that again?
Eiktýr. Yeah, Eiktýr, just like that.
Here. Okay, so almost. I mean, to me that almost sounds like egg tier, but with a better accent.
Yeah, exactly. Eiktýr.
Eiktýr.
Okay, Eiktýr. Okay.
That's good
I've
to
heard
know.
so many versions. My favorite version is Eiktýr. That's my favorite. My favorite Hugin and Munin is the birds, the ravens. My favorite is Huggins. I think that's my favorite one.
Because you
Mr.
just want to
Huggins.
hug him.
Yeah.
Just like Gwen in the Business Givers stream.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's not talk about that. That was embarrassing.
Oh, actually, I have one question regarding that one. We only see one of them. We only see Hugin. Where is
Munin?
Where's the brother?
Where is the brother? Such a mystery. Will we ever get to see Munin? That's a very good question, and I hopefully we will be able to answer that sometime in the future of the quests that you do in Valheim.
All right. We're just gonna leave it as it is.
There is actually a fun fact, or is it too fun of a fact? Wait, let me just think. But should be fine. Hugin has a secret model inside Hugin. I think that's how we set it up for his brother Munin. So there is a hidden version of Munin inside of Hugin. Which is just disabled, and you can't see it, but it's basically the same model but different looks to him. And I was actually looking at Munin a couple of months ago and wondering what does he look like nowadays, and he actually looks like a turkey, so he needs to be redone.
Giant turkey. That sounds fun.
Yep.
We do have more books here too, which are super fun.
Where's George? Yep.
Where's George?
Happy birthday, Robin. Nice one. I found that one. Tales of the Divs. A brief history of time. Time warp. Secrets of the portals. Loki. Say
that 10 times really fast.
Loki. Yeah, I gave up. The Tale of the Frost Giants, Odin's Knowledge, Alex Wander the Great. Alex Wander. Nice one. I got it.
VIP Lounge? Oh no, we just came from it. Oh, so it's not the VIP Lounge, it's the VVIP, the very, very, what?
Yep.
And so now we are heading down. So, Canaris, do you want to talk to us about the making of these stairs? And before we go there, we probably should show that cute little table and decoration. I love how creative people get with using things like stools and signs to make kind of modern looking furniture. We were just sat on a sofa as well that was made out of stools and then beams around it. Yeah, so Canaris, talk to us about the stairs, because that was not easy to make, right?
Yeah, like since the inside of the cave is like a very awkward position, like with, the different stones popping up in the very thin, areas and all of that. So some areas are steeper than others. So it took me quite a while to finish the stairs, to make them a bit functional, like in some of the areas, like here you can tell where I started as with the stone ones, and then I had to stop and change it to wood.
Yeah, you needed that steeper angle.
Yeah, it's the angles. And you made all of this in vanilla and survival, which means that you probably died a lot of times making this. How did that go?
That was pretty fine, because I was making sure to keep the health up. So
yeah, I bet, because it is a very long fall to the bottom of the cave.
Yeah.
We've got a few more books here: Forbidden Arts, Necromancy, Cult of the Wolf, Cult of the Rabbit. Oh, little hint, and Cult of Builders. So the rabbit. Let's talk about the rabbit. Who was it? Lisa who designed that?
That was me who made the concept art for it. Actually, it was more like we needed just a creature in Mistlands, like some kind of fauna, basically. So it's not going to be basically spoiling here right now. That can change, but we needed a creature just for hunting. Something that's not really deadly, but has its own little purpose over there. You'll get to see that. But it was me who did the concept art, and Lisa did the model for it, and then we throw it over to Christopher, who does the animations. And that was kind of fun, because when Jonathan started implementing it, and we noticed that Christopher had animated everything in the wrong direction, in the wrong, like in models in 3D we say like XYZ, and I think it was turned like in the opposite direction. So when it was running forwards, it was running backwards in game.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
Like a demonic, like a demonic exercise.
Yes.
Worthy rabbit. That must have been terrifying to watch.
That was pretty terrifying, because you'd have like these scores of rabbits running around backwards, like going backwards in time, which made me do like I would hold in the right mouse button and just strafe backwards with them running past me, and it felt like everything was going backwards. So it was
that's
cool.
Crazy. That's so funny.
Look at that.
Oh, I need to crank up my settings so we can see it properly.
I saw that now. Wow.
Gwen?
Yes?
Could you type into the console ENV caves? Apparently you have the wrong settings. It's too bright, apparently.
Well, this is it's a nightclub in here right now.
Is it better now? Oh yeah, it does look better. Thank you. Yeah, I think I had set my environment to be clear while we were outside, but indeed it is much better now. And we can actually hear the cave sounds, and I am also freezing, which is great. So we have prepared this lovely cave.
Nice.
And what's that? Lots of Vikings arriving?
Lots of Vikings arriving.
Oh,
hello.
Are we getting raided? We're getting raided.
We have a birthday surprise party for our ballroom.
Yeah. Come in, come through, get closer, everyone. And do you have a tankard with you?
No, I
maybe
do
we need
not.
to fetch the one that was at the top of the one that was in your room. Oh, someone
I can
threw
do
a
that
tankard
for
at you. Oh, I picked it up by accident. Let me throw it back. There you go.
Cool.
You got one? Okay.
We got you
There's-
covered.
Yeah, there's one just under your feet.
I can't. It's
Uh-oh.
the latency in this game is so amazing. It's just I'm not catching up with my eyes just yet.
All right, so we've got everyone from the community here who is here to wish you a happy birthday. And
Get a picture?
Yeah, I believe in.
And everyone group up?
Oh, we grouping up? Okay, let's all group up.
Gwen, do you want to take care of the screenshot?
Where?
Well, you're standing up there, so it might be better. You might have a better angle.
Okay. Yeah, actually, Grim, if you would come onto your throne.
Oh, yeah.
I have a throne. Oh,
Yes.
Throne.
Is that over there?
And
I'm sitting in my throne. It is lagging a lot. I haven't played with this many people ever. I'm sitting over here like very excited, but my character is sitting like he's not amused.
Yeah, the sitting emote in game is always interesting.
So 1,
Ooh.
2, 3.
Skull.
Wow.
Skull.
That's
and
right.
Yeah, lighting fireworks inside a cave.
Yes, explosions in a contained room.
That's good. That's always good.
All right. Then if people want to go ahead and take seats in the ballroom.
Do I just sit somewhere?
No, Grim, you sit in your throne.
Yeah, you can stay on the
okay.
comfy throne. Yeah, all good. All good. Actually, let me just go. I really enjoyed this. I want another.
Mhm.
Oops. Circling core.
This is crazy.
Yeah.
Gwen, are you on fire again?
Yeah, sorry.
Are you burning again?
I am. Oh, look at that light. It's amazing.
Mhm.
I know, I did it a little fast. I was trying to get a good lighting for the picture.
Yeah, and this chandelier up there is also beautiful. I think also made by Bambi, who made the one in the Great Hall that we saw earlier, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
I'm taking a screenshot and sending to the other guys.
And I just want to take a quick break from the show to share with you one of my sponsors, the Grimfrost, an amazing company that sells really, really cool Viking products. They have over 1,000 different modern and historical Viking products. If you're interested, you should check them out. I have a link in the description, or you can go to my website, jiroctheviking.com/Grimfrost. Now back to the show.
All right, let's ask you some questions.
All right.
Yeah, so Jiroc had one that I'll ask on his behalf. He wanted to know if you've always wanted to be an artist and what your career path to becoming an artist, what was your career path to becoming the artist that you are today? If you went to school or if you're self-taught or if you dabbled in art as a child.
I'll try to take a short version of it, but basically I think I always wanted to draw stuff when I was a kid. Mostly, I grew up. So I'm born in Sweden, but we moved back to New Zealand and we lived on Fiji, which is like 3 small islands just outside the coast of New Zealand, between Australia and New Zealand, basically. And we had. Why am I? This is too far back. Basically. We lived there and we didn't have a TV. We were running a hotel, a resort place, and we had to flee from there because there was like this military coup going on. So we had to go back to New Zealand and back to Sweden again, and we didn't actually have that much of like TV or videos and stuff like that. So I did draw a lot when I was a kid. but I was rather unconventional when it came to that, because I tend to draw the feet first when I was a kid, which is
it's
not
the opposite.
It's the
So you start
opposite,
from
yes.
the bottom and then build the rest of the body up.
Exactly, and a lot of the first drawings I did tended to be like, you'd see the feet, the legs, and the torso, but the head was never there, because I didn't take account for scale around them.
There was no space left for the rest of the body once you had made giant feet.
No, but basically, when I was 6 years old, I got a Nintendo. 8-bit Nintendo, and I started playing Super Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt, and that's when it all started. When it was so fun to invest the time in something virtual and just like, I don't know, escape for a little bit and end up in like a fantasy world, even though it's just like pixels and everything. It was still super real for me, and I kept on playing games until when I went to 7th grade, I think it was, where I played Final Fantasy VII at my friend's house on a PlayStation, where I thought it was like, the graphics of this game is insane. And it was like, for me, it was basically reality. It felt like it was real. It looked real to me. My mom kept telling me, like, Robin, there's something wrong with your brain, because this doesn't look real at all. And I was like, well, how can you say that? Look at Cloud Strife. He looks like he's real. The graphics on this game is amazing. Which it actually
was
wasn't.
For the time. For the time, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah. But when I played in 7th grade, that game made me want to become a character artist. And there was actually no way to... There was no... This was 1997, by the way. So at that time, there was no career path saying that you have to go do this and go school there to become what you want to become. So I was asking teachers, and they had no idea. And they were like, it's a waste of time. I think everybody thought it was like a waste of time back then. Like, this is a goal you cannot achieve. But I went to art school for a while. And then after that, I lived in Japan for 2 years, because I thought, like, if I went to Japan, I could become an animator and I could do animations and stuff. But I had to learn the language. So I went to Japan to learn language for 2 years, the Japanese language, writing and talking and reading and everything. But then I was like, no, I want to go home now. This is when I'm like 22, 23 or something. And that's when I started to decide to, like, okay, I'm going to start investing time to go and do what I actually want to do. Because by that time, this is 2008, 2009 or something like that. Now in Sweden, these different like high school, university programs were popping up with like game design and graphical design and stuff, which was really cool. But I had spent like all my... in Sweden, we basically it's student loans, and I'd used all my student loans in Japan, so I wasn't actually able to do that anymore. I couldn't go study anymore because I didn't have any more money to do that. So I actually had to start spending. I started spending 2 hours in my evenings painting every evening since my daughter was born in 2012. So 2 hours each evening, I'd sit and paint and Photoshop with a Wacom board and just paint stuff. And I'd try to have, like, every week, try to discipline myself to just, every week I want to have one piece that I'm proud of. I did that for a couple of years until I was like, these illustrations are not doing anything. They're not moving. There's nothing to be done with them or be used by them or whatever. So I was like, okay, I need to make this 3D. Maybe something can come out of that. So I started like 2 hours each evening 3D modeling. And after a while, I recognized that these models are just standing here. They're not actually doing anything either. So I was like, what if I animate them instead? So I started learning how to animate like 2 hours every evening in the same process, like still the same process. Like every week I need to have something to be proud of, something that has improved since the last week. So I kept doing that, and then I was like, okay, they're moving, they look nice, but there is no purpose for them. They're not doing anything. So like, let's put them into a game. So I started to I downloaded Unreal Engine 4 and started putting my models and my animations into the game and making my own projects every evening, 2 hours each evening, which then led to me understanding more about game design and teaching myself balance and teaching myself what is fun, what's not fun, what's possible, what can I do. And because Unreal has this node-based programming system, I didn't actually need to learn how to program at all. I was like writing scripts, or that's also programming, but it was just easier for me to understand everything with a node-based language. So that's basically how, up until 2018, before I got the job at Iron Gate, that's what I was doing, just personal projects, and I was doing freelance work for game companies who were just going to pay me in exposure. They were going to pay me like, oh, you'll get royalties and you will get the revenue once the game is done, but that never happened. And my confidence in the gaming industry was
dwindling.
Going, yes. And I remember when I had the interview with Richard and Henrik, I told them, like, if I don't get this amount of money, I don't think I can work for you guys. And they were talking for like 10 minutes or something like, there, we can do that. And I was like, what, really? You're going to pay me now? Why are you paying me? What's the cash? But it was nice because Richard and Henrik, they are both industry veterans. They've been working in the industry, I think, for maybe 8 years or 9 years before in different companies. So they knew what they were doing. In Valheim, when I came to Valheim, or to Iron Gate, Meadows was basically done. Black Forest was basically done. Swamps. Yeah, I think those 3 biomes were basically done when we did add a lot after that, but those 3 biomes were in the game, and oceans, but no Sea Serpent. What was the question, by the way?
No, it was how you became an artist. Yeah.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, was the short answer to that question.
Yes.
No, but it's great. I mean, I learned a lot of things, and I have a ton of follow-up questions. But one that we actually had already on our little list of questions to ask you was, well, with that, how you came into the gaming industry, and it seems like you always had that affinity with games and with the gaming industry. But knowing what you know now, and given your experience in the industry, if someone is interested in designing artwork for video games, would you recommend that they go to a school for that, or that they try to learn on their own from like online courses and things like that, or a combination of the two? What would be your advice or tip for someone who wants to get started in gaming?
I would say that nobody actually cares about your process. In the gaming industry, people just want to see the final product and the result, and how good you are at doing something. So it doesn't really matter if you went to school for 50 years, or for me, I did everything from like teaching myself everything for about 7 years, I think. And I'm still teaching myself. I'm still doing like 2 hours every evening, still doing the same things, like trying to find new things to do in 3D and illustration. But if you're trying to get into the industry, just try to keep in mind that nobody cares about the process. Nobody really cares about you as an individual. These may be very harsh and hard words, but as long as you don't have an ego, as long as you are humble and understand that the thing that you are doing, somebody can probably do better. There's no room for ego. But there's tons of room for lovely, nice art, for nice design, for creative thinking and creative collaboration. You just have to, like, for example, I put stuff up on portfolio. On my portfolio on ArtStation, for the longest time, I've got tons of stuff there. I haven't updated it for a long time because I'm not looking for a new job in any way. But it's always, I think, when I get portfolio stuff sent to me, I go on to their portfolios and check it out, and I don't really know the process, but I can understand basically how they did it. But it's the end result that matters the most, I guess, and just keep at it, I guess. I tend to talk a lot, so if I divert from the actual question, please ask the question again. What was the question?
No problem at all. I mean, we're loving the conversation. Yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, right? Like it seems like in the industry, it doesn't really. It's more. Is it more than you would say a matter of who you meet and the timing of who you meet that kind of gives you the opportunities that will take you forward?
Yes. Sadly, the gaming industry, I felt, for at least for me trying to get in, is difficult to get in behind those doors. And it was, I mean, the way that I got the job, where I even knew that that Iron Gate existed, was my friend just sending me, like, there was this post on Facebook. In Sweden, we have a place on Facebook called Spelutvecklerambulansen, which is basically an English game developer ambulance. And that's a group for people putting out job offers at different companies here in Sweden. My friend just sent me a link, just like, this looks like a game you could work on, right? And my daughter was playing soccer or football that day, and so I just sent my portfolio and everything and just wrote something really, really, really simple in English, just sending it to Richard and Henrik. I was not aware if they were Swedish or English, so I just wrote it in English and just got through. Yeah. So it is difficult. And also, one thing that I noticed quite early on, which got me a little bit upset, was we were eating lunch one day with a bunch of other developers, and another guy, he got sacked. The company was dissolving or something like that, and he didn't have a job anymore. So we were just sitting there and eating, and he was going like, so are there any jobs anywhere? And another guy says, oh, we're looking for 3D modelers. Oh, great. And he got the job. And I was like, wait, what?
What just happened?
Wait, you just got a job like that just by eating lunch at a table with other people? And I was like a little bit sad and disheartened, like, but all the others because I genuinely think that people who are not in the game industry, who wants to come in, the new blood, there's so much more power and so much more energy in that people to prove themselves and to actually want to be in the gaming industry. Because I see so many people who, like, I meet them who are just like, this is just a normal job, which it is. It's just a normal job. But I get paid to paint death skeetos. I get paid to do stupid serpents in the water, and I don't think it's a stupid job. And I think so many more people think the same way I do, and I hope they do. But it's when I see the people who don't appreciate where they are, which makes me a little bit sad.
Well, especially given how many people you touch with the game, how many, like, all of us in this room on this multiplayer server are kind of proof of that. This game has brought so much joy to so many people, and I'm sure this is a sense of pride and fulfillment that comes from that as one of the developers and artists working on that game.
I mean, it's it's always fun to see so many people playing the game that we have made. It's also fun to I don't know if this answers anything, but when we got the new people in from Jonathan, Christopher, and Andreas, who got hired last year, they came in with so much energy and so much positivity. It was enthralling to know that they had played the game and loved it so much that they want to work on it, and they actually got the job and they are working on it. And it's a really good, nice energy spiral just going up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What was the question? But I'm going to ask this all the time. What was the question?
Oh, good.
Yeah,
All good.
wait.
Don't worry, we have a spreadsheet here.
Nice. But also, I don't want people to feel like disheartened not to look for it, because I think I applied for at least like 100 jobs, hoping to get like a reply or just to get somewhere. But the sad truth is that if you're not making like okay, so you've got these artists who are, if you're looking for a job at Blizzard, you need to like understand that you need to nail the Blizzard art style.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just has to come out of the box. The portfolio that you send has to be Blizzard. It can't be like the Riot Games, League of Legends kind of style. Because an art director over at Blizzard is going to look at that and say, "No, this is not what we're looking for." Or you have to be so talented that like your drawings and stuff like that is going to blow them away, or your sketchbook or whatever you send and show off is going to just blow them away. So that's how good you have to be if you're going to aim for the big AAA studios. I was lucky that I spent 7 years doing generalist things, because at the moment at Iron Gate, what they needed the most was someone who could be versatile, who is friendly, who they could have a cup of coffee with, who they could discuss like design ideas and balance and everything, but also put on my table that, okay, we need to make this creature. And because I was doing everything from the concept to the model to the animations and everything by that time, nothing was going missing anywhere, because I understood the process. I wasn't leaving anything to someone else to take over, and it would, because sometimes it tends to change a little bit in the design if you leave it to someone else. But if you're the sole person in charge of making it, it'll most likely stay the same, and that's what they were looking for, basically at Iron Gate. I had a point somehow. I don't remember what it was.
Maybe we can just move on with the next question. Maybe.
Yeah, it would be good to
Yes.
actually talk us if. Sorry. Go on, Morning.
Okay, no worries. So who are some of the artists that you admire, either that inspire you from the past or the present? As a filmmaker, I know Jiroc was inspired by Vermeer's treatment and use of light in his paintings.
Interesting. Yeah. The first person I looked up to a lot is a guy called Dave Raposa. He is so good. He's really good at. I mean, back in the day, he did character portraits. If you go out on Google and if you write Dave Raposa with a Z, write like Turtles, Ninja Turtles, or He-Man and Skeletor, you'll see these really amazing portraits of them, his own style. But they look like the 80s Skeletor and He-Man and everything. But it's just really, really good with lighting and colors and everything. I admire anyone who does something with a lot of color, or super stylistically with just accent colors and gray, like grayscale and accent colors. But Dave Raposa is a big hero of mine. I'm nowhere close to how good he is. But Dan Levisi is also one of my big heroes. Dave Raposa, Dan Levisi, Anthony Jones over at Blizzard. He used to work at Blizzard before. I think he's running his own. You can actually get courses from him, like taking concept art courses with that guy. Anthony Jones is really, really good. Basically those three people I look up to a lot, if they would ever, like, if they would ever, like, oh, Robin, you're doing okay. I would be like, okay, I'm quitting now. I'm done. I think that would be the day. That would be the day.
I actually have a a question from the audience. Let me ask that one. Are there any plans to modify the wards? Like, for example, right now, if you want to take out a name from the ward, you have to destroy the whole ward and then have everyone put their names back in again. Either, or like, if you could.
Yeah.
Are there any plans regarding, making a bit more comfort of life changes?
I think that's a really good question. I think that's more up Jonathan's alley than mine. But it sounds like this sounds like the way that you're describing it. It's a bit difficult to add names. Is that correct? Or
well, it's difficult to change names. Like, for example, I don't know, someone has access and then he decides to not come back anymore or whatever. For whatever reason, the name doesn't have to be on the ward anymore. Then you have to destroy the ward and then have everyone who is still playing put their names back on the ward.
Yep. I don't know. That's something we could look into. Definitely, it sounds like something that should be an easy fix. I'm saying it sounds like an easy fix, but it might just as well not be. That's a Jonathan kind of thing. But I can actually tell him this question. So,
all right, then let's move maybe to a question that you can answer. What is your favorite thing that you have designed for Valheim in the current release version, and why?
The Fenris armor is probably the coolest thing I've done. But it's also, I designed it, I made the concept art for it, and I gave it to Lisa, so she made the 3D model. Then I got it back and I textured and did some final adjustments to it. But the Fenris armor is probably my most favorite thing, I think. The Fuling Berserker is one of the more fun characters we did, I think, so far. Mostly because I was able to push the design a little bit more. When I started at Iron Gate, Fulings were already in the game. So when we were going to make plains or heathlands, as it was called back then, we wanted to give them like the shamans and something big like a troll character. And the Berserker was the first character to actually do a 3 or a combo attack thing, which was fun to animate and give him all the different armor parts and everything. So that's one of my favorite creatures in the game.
Yeah, that 3-time attack is really nasty.
Yep. I like it.
You can block the first one, but then it just breaks through and knocks you out into the sky.
Nice.
What was the most challenging design you ever did? Challenging, either complicated or challenging for other reasons?
Oh, I was so stuck on the Obliterator. I was really? Oh yes, and I remember that was something that we were like, but we don't need this. People were like, what do we do with all the trash? And we're like, dump it in the ocean, but that's not environmentally friendly. We're like, okay, let us think for a while. And it was so difficult coming up with the design because we were like, do we just make an altar? Do we and something just incinerates him? And now my first reaction was, let's just throw it into the bonfire. Anything will burn in the bonfire. Mm-hmm. But that didn't go over so well. So we're like let's make something fun out of it instead. And we're like, okay, so how do we do this? Okay, so lots of metal. some kind of conductor, something that draws in the electricity, or something that would actually zap it. Put it in a container so you don't actually see it. So you don't actually see it go away. You have to proof it somehow, so people don't. Because one of the difficulties is if you have it on the bonfire and you're standing close to the bonfire, you're just like, oh, have my tankard, and you accidentally throw it into the bonfire. It wouldn't be so nice, so we had to have a container and hide it so it all disappears when you're not looking, and have some visual effects so you go, ooh. That was a difficult design.
Mm-hmm.
I like the design, but it also really feels steampunky with the electricity and the all of that. And there's a few items in game like that have this, or to me at least, I perceive it as a bit of a steampunk vibe or aesthetic. So the obliterator, the artisan table is a bit like that too. Is it on purpose? Were you really going for that kind of bring something magical, a bit futuristic in the game, or how did that come about?
Yeah, so we intended to put more of kind of like magic into mountains. Like everything from mountains and onwards were going to be more magical and more epic. But when we came down to plains after mountains, I still feel that mountains is not complete just yet.
Even with the frost caves?
Even with the frost caves, I still feel it's lacking something. I don't know what yet, but there's something. There's something with those mountains. We'll have to just come back and see. But no, so when we came down to plains, and we felt like, okay, so people are calling this like the beta testers were calling it like the Bronze Age, the Iron Age, and everything. We're like, okay, so we need to go in a little bit into the future, but we want to use magic instead. So we were like, okay, let's do some kind of Viking punk.
Viking punk, I like that.
I like it.
And then you decided to design the fanciest garbage can in the game.
Yes. No, but yeah, so the tiers, and with the artisan table, and also the blast furnace as well. There was some other designs that we cut out of the planes. We're going to add some more things, some work things, but we're adding that in Mistlands instead.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what those futuristic Viking punk items are going to be.
Right. Yeah. When designing things for Valheim, what's your process? Do you sketch up a simple design to pitch to the team, or do you do something more elaborate before presenting a design idea? And how do you determine when it's time to fully model and texture a design?
All right, so that's a really good question. Normally, it works out like this. I come to work. Richard has an idea. So me and Richard will sit and talk for maybe an hour or 2 hours, or we'll leave it and then come back and talk about it. But me and Richard normally sit and talk about design and what to do and what we feel like we want to, what would actually fit the Valheim universe. And after that, it's a little bit different nowadays compared to back in the day, because when we were a smaller team, I could just jump onto it and do it now. But these days, I have to go and do the concept art and make sure that I don't have anything else that I need to be doing before continuing down the road or down the path of going further with the model and animations and so on. But basically, yeah, we'll sit down. We'll go check out Pinterest, and we'll go to Google. We'll try to figure out the oven. Like, how does an oven actually work? How does a stone oven actually? We had no idea. So where does the wood go in? There has to be a fire somewhere. And so we had to go look that up. And also, there are requirements for the oven. And it was like, okay, so we have to have it in like a 2 times 2 times 2, I guess it was, but it has to be a chimney as well, so you can have like the smoke coming out. But we had to make it like 3 in the Y, 2 in the. Yeah, it was some criteria that we had to fill before even going into designing the concept for the oven. So it's always different when we do the different things, but normally it comes from like, is this fun? Are we excited by this idea? If we're not excited by the idea, we're not going to even chase it down. And I think that's why we had to make the obliterator the way it was, because like throwing stuff into a bonfire is not going to be fun. It's always going to be more fun with some sound effects and some light effects and everything. But yeah, mostly it's just me and Richard just talking about stuff before we even present it to the team or to anyone else. We'll just sit and talk. And Henrik is very involved in that process now in Mistlands as well. So we're basically three guys sitting down and just trying to figure out what we want, what we need. Making a Google document and just like writing down everything, all the items that we want and all the things that we think we need. But that's the thing, like even though we have a big list of things that we want to put in the game, those lists become smaller lists because we have drops and stuff. Like we tend to think from two different points. Either we'll have like, oh, we need a metal, and that metal will then turn into armor concepts and swords and weapons. Or we'll come from the other side where it's like, oh, we need a creature. And we will design the creature. Oh, what could this creature drop now? And then we'll do the drops. And what could this drop actually become from there? Oh, we could make an armor from this. So there's always those different approaches we have. Those two things.
All right.
Talking about all the animations, I have a kind of a question that interests me personally. The regarding the abomination, the animation is really cool. How it just appears out of the ground, and we never had something like that before. I think the only similar is Yagluf. He has the animation where he kind of pulls himself out of the ground. So my question is: were you involved in its design and animation? And if so, what was the trickiest part about it?
There's also the mountain golem is the first actual creature that we designed up in the mountains to have. We call it a sleeping state, where it actually just listens if a player is nearby or not, and then it'll start to animate itself or reanimate itself. But and then we did Jagluth. And we wanted to have like just with Jagluth, why he comes out of the ground is because he's undead. It would be cool if he just comes crawling out of the ground, hits his hand in the ground and everything. But the thing with the abomination is something that we have talked about since before early access, like having a creature, something that just looks like trees, or it looks like a stone, or looks like something that you just run past, and then it starts shaking and it comes out of the ground. And the thing we thought was cool to do with the abomination is that it would start upside down, so it looked like a stump, but we wanted to give you like some the feeling of like this is not the correct way, and it would feel very, very otherworldly if it turned around and the stump is now upside down, and this is the correct way how it actually walks around, which was so much problems trying to solve. Because the bigger, so if you look at all the Valheim creatures, smaller creatures tend to have a system called IK, which basically when you stand up with your character, your foot will make a small line trace towards the ground. If it hits the ground, they'll snap the foot to the closest piece, basically. In Unity, that works really well for two biped creatures.
I can see where this is going.
Something with how many legs does the abomination have? 4 legs, right?
Yes, it's got 4 legs, and so that was so we had done like a whole or 2 weeks or 1 week of animation, 2 weeks I think of animations, and we're going to try out the new, or not the new IK system, but the IK system and everything, and see so it would work. and it didn't work. So we thought it was like problems with the rig, which means the skeleton of the abomination. Like, is there something with the rotations of the joints and everything, because it's not really working as that we thought it was going to be working like. But we couldn't actually solve the problem, so we just didn't bother with doing any IK on the abomination. It was too much work because people don't care. they don't care if you don't care if the abomination has his feet exactly on the ground or not. You're just gonna try to stay alive.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to say there are some other things to worry about.
Yes, but we've got the same issues with the locks as well. However, with bigger creatures, we tend to rotate the creatures depending on the ground slope instead, so it always looks like they have their feet grounded. But the animations for the abomination was tricky. It was Christopher working on them, and me, Richard, were giving feedback and basically backseat driving. Do this, do that, more here, less there. Christopher is a lovely animator. He's a really good guy. It's so fun to work with him because he puts a lot of attention to detail in his animations. Also can become a problem where like we want to give control back to the character or to the player as soon as possible when you fight. We think it's unnecessary to force you to stand still for entire animations. We want to cut it off as soon as possible so you get control back, so you can dodge and you can jump and you can do other things, which sometimes we have to tell Christopher to, like, hey, maybe don't overdo that, or don't overdo this. But it's part of the learning process, I guess, trying to get into the team and get into the feel of Valheim. We have lots of new animations coming up in Mistlands. This feels like a promo for Mistlands. Lots of new things that I can't talk about for Mistlands. Just you wait.
Yes.
Yeah, we're all really excited about that. We're also all wondering when it will come out, but I'm sure you can't really give any indication of that. So we'll just wait patiently with excitement.
Like my mother used to say, "It's ready when it's ready."
Exactly. I think we have to do it that way. I don't think we're talking about this internally. Is it even worth putting out a biome to people? Because people have their expectations. We want to deliver a good, nice package. If we would just put out Mistlands in current state, I think people would be disappointed. I think they would be really disappointed, to be honest. And I don't think it'll be more worth it when it's all done, basically.
Yeah, and to be fair, we have had a couple of small unexpected updates with the Frost Caves, and before that the Swamp updates and all of that. So, you know, I think it's fair. I also prefer waiting for something and then be amazed when it comes out, rather than having something that is a bit rushed, like a lot of bigger studios do that. And the backlash is usually quite big too. So
I hope people will be amazed, because I've said this before, Mistlands is something that I'm very stoked to play. I'm very excited when working on it and playing it and play testing and everything. So I'm hoping people will like it as well, and I hope they will have to go to the toilet an extra time. It's going to be fun to see people's reactions, because we have some surprises, but also saying that we have surprises is also destroying the surprises. So we don't have any surprises in Mistlands at all.
So let's just move on. Next question.
Yeah, actually, since we were talking a little bit about the magic, introducing magic and so on, obviously the shamans in the fueling villages are magical creatures, and someone in the chat is asking, they want to learn how the fueling shamans cast those bubbles to protect themselves and their allies, if there's like a bit of lore or story that you can share behind that.
So the Grey Dwarves they have these shamans also, but they tap into a different kind of power than the Fulings actually do. And it's all based upon that Yagluth, which was a very horrible person when he was alive, was kind of like a tyrant, and he went off to distant lands to find different sources of power to come back and control his people, basically. And when he returned, he taught these things to the shamans of the tribes, which is tapping into a different kind of power than or magic than for example, the Grey Dwarf shaman is using. I can't talk too much about it, but that's basically what they do. And we don't. I think the overall gist of Valheim's magic is there's different kinds of magic. There's not just like I'm not talking about lightning and fire, but where it actually comes from. I'm hoping we will get some more time to be able to put that into lore.
Yeah, that's
There's
exciting.
so many things I would like to put into lore.
Yeah. And everyone who's following on the YouTube and Twitch, feel free to keep posting your questions on chat. We'll try to go through most of them. But another question that's more related to your experience playing Valheim. What was the funniest or weirdest death that you ever had? Did you ever have like something? I think the classic is death by tree when you're very early on in the game. But do you have any funny stories?
Definitely. I got through the interview process. I was sent so this is the things that you have to do and see if you get through these assignments, and then we'll see if you get the job or not. And I got the key to play Valheim, and I played it for about like maybe 3-4 hours or something like that. And I will not forget, like the first time you cut down a tree, I was like, well, okay, that's kind of cool. It rolls around, but can it kill me? and when it did, I was like, oh my god, what's going on? My whole world was like turned upside down. So the first tree killing me was amazing. The second one was when I saw my friend got killed by a tree. I was like, wait, what? Did you just get killed by me chopping this tree, falling onto you, and now you're dead? So that was the second, like, wow, I didn't mean to kill you, but I'm laughing.
Yeah, we actually want to make that. Someone on the server has this idea of making a kind of PvP event where we have to kill each other by just chopping down trees. That would be quite fun.
Funny.
I think the best death I've had is when a troll actually killed me, because I was terrified by trolls. They were brown back in the day. We had 2 different trolls back in the day, where the blue trolls that we have now were up in the mountains, and you had the black forest trolls where they were brown. But then we went for just the blue troll instead.
Why blue? How did you decide on blue?
I think it was basically just Richard just fiddling around with the texture colors one day, and it felt like having something that actually sticks out from Black Forest, just color-wise, was something to go for. Like you'd see something in the distance, like what the hell is that? Rather than having something brown and cloaked in Black Forest. I think it was a good choice. I think it was like orange at one point as well.
Ooh.
Someone else has a follow-up question to our conversation about magic. Will the players ever be able to use magic, like via staffs, for example, or spells, maybe?
That would be cool.
I have a few questions too. So
I'm not. All right. I think I can't say for sure that we'll ever have that. I think it all depends on what Richard wants to do with it in the future, I guess. Right now, it's very physical based, everything, I guess, in Valheim. At some point, I don't know where we would actually put that into the game. But I don't see it actually being a problem putting it into the game, I guess. It all depends on if we can find like the right setting and if we can make it make sense, I guess. Because wielding magic would be kind of OP, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't.
how I would feel. I don't
Unless
know
it
how I
was
would feel about
something.
magic.
Yeah, someone else on the chat is saying no magic for players in Valheim. There's already too many games that have that, and they're saying that Archer and melee is enough. But I guess there's ways to limit it. It can be. It doesn't need to be an unlimited power. Maybe it's something that costs so much in resources, or that has a finite number of spells that you can cast, or something like that.
Maybe the approach
That's true.
I would make is maybe
I think like
more.
No, please continue.
I just want to do. We have like magical weapons, the crystal battle axe, and etc. Maybe go more into that direction regarding magic instead of the usual, fireball.
I think that if we did a fireball, I think it would be cool if we had fireballs and ice spells and lightning and stuff like that. I think it could fit the universe. I don't know really what to say there, because I do like the idea. I know Richard likes the idea. We've talked about this a long time ago, putting magic into the game, and we wanted to put magic into the game all in mountains, like have staffs and stuff like that back then. I think it'll always come down to finding the right setting and trying to make it not too OP, because I think we would like to put in magic sometime. Probably.
Well, especially as the newer enemies start having some of that, like the cultists in the caves. They do seem to have some sort of magic going on, and throwing fire and things like that. So
yes, they do. They're tapping into a different kind of magic.
We're seeing where this is going.
To slightly change the subject, do you mind if I do sort of a lightning round of questions? Yes, no, or I don't know?
Yeah, sure. That's good. Yeah.
All right. I know you mentioned this before, but just sort of a follow-up. Will there be 64-degree angles, building pieces added to the game, like beams, roofs, stairs, etc.?
I was intending to put that in Hearth and Home. I've got those pieces here at my computer at home. I have black roof pieces, dark wood pieces here at the computer that are 64 or 67. I don't remember what angle it is, but the thing was, when I was doing that back then, it had to. I didn't have the correct answer for how to loop. So basically, when you make those kind of tiles, they have to be able to loop. But the criteria we had was that we wouldn't make build pieces bigger than. Wait, okay. There was fast answers. Yes, sometime in the future. Yes,
sometime. All right. Following up on that, are you planning on having more darkwood pieces, like core wood just added with tar and that sort of thing?
Most likely, yes.
Okay. And then just a slightly different one. Well, actually, no, this one's still the same. Will we get the option to build aesthetic things like small barrels, paintings, decorative plants, herbs, or statues or vines?
I wanted the vines to be able to grow from the beginning, and I'm still trying to get Richard. Like, we need to be able to plant these, and they will grow randomly, and they would spread out.
Yes, we back you on this.
We will back you.
Do we need to start a petition?
But also, if the vines could also bear fruit, would be even more nice. Like, there would be a purpose with that, and so that's something I want to do. But I don't know what fruit that would be just yet. Grapes, maybe.
So we can make wine, which could be another type of mead.
Oh, I love it. Last lightning round question. Are carts supposed to go through iron gates? And is there any intention to make it easier without the risk of breaking the cart?
What? So
right now, again? Iron gates are really, really narrow, and they are almost just exactly the width of the cart. And so when you're trying to run through with a cart attached and an iron gate, unless you hit it perfectly on center with the exact perfect vector, you run into the iron gate and hang yourself up, fall out of the cart. Lots of things happen. Lots of collision problems happen.
And the question was if
Is there any
it's going to...
intention on fixing that, making it easier, changing that at all?
I had no idea that this issue was an issue. We'll definitely look into this problem and try to get back to you really soon.
Love it. Thank you for letting me rapid fire some questions.
Awesome. Yeah.
Was that all the questions?
No,
Not all.
Gwen has a couple more. Go on.
All right. Yeah.
Okay, I'll do rapid fire as well. So we talked on the Podheim the past couple of weeks. Actually, we were singing praises of all these the new armor pieces that we have, with the Fenris armor, the root armor, that seem to really start going in the direction of playstyles and having specific armor sets for specific playstyles. Is there any talk about adding more armor sets to the game to support those different playstyles in the future?
Absolutely.
Great. Thanks. That's a yes. Are there any plans to allow dyes so we can change the color of some items like armor sets or maybe furniture as well?
That's not a yes or no question. That is
yes, no, or maybe. Maybe.
Maybe. I mean, there is, but maybe, it depends on when and if we have time. And yes,
great.
Most likely.
I can hear the resounding cheers of everyone that I speak to who is dying to be able to dye, no pun intended, their armor set so that they can look different than their other friends.
Yeah,
so
no,
I
think it's needed. It's definitely needed.
Yeah, that's fantastic.
Yes.
And final rapid fire before I turn over to Tulkas. Talking about aesthetics, would it be possible to get a tool similar to the butcher knife to pick up crops, like a scythe or something like that? Because right now everyone's using adgears, but it would be nice to actually have a tool.
Yeah.
Yes.
I would say we should actually go for a scythe. And we should, like, if you ask me, we should go for war scythes as well, and weapon scythes, and cut down stuff with
more
scythes.
pole arms. Yes.
You had me at scythes, so yes.
All right.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Now, my turn. Will diving be added to the game?
Most likely, no.
Okay. Can we put you down for team throwing axes?
I am the creator of team throwing axes.
All right, so now it's official. Thank you. And Morning Darkness, do you want to ask a couple of more questions?
Yeah, I'm looking at my chat, so I'm trying to make sure. So other things that people really, really want to see, is it possible that we might be getting milk and cheese in the game?
Yes. Bring cheese to Valheim. Bring cheese to Valheim.
We wanted to give Loxes we wanted you to milk Loxes.
Yes.
Back in Home, but we figured it would be too much with we didn't have time to put that in, or we want to put that on another creature. Milk makes sense. Yes, milk makes sense.
That would be great.
All right. Should we expect any further update before the Mistlands, or are you just like full bore focusing on Mistlands, nothing else until that's out?
Good question. I think if something pops up, we have the manpower to start doing that. But I think right now we're actually working so much on Mistlands that we don't have any. Jonathan does have something up his sleeve, but we might want to put that into Mistlands because it would make a bigger bang. Put it into Mistlands, but it all depends how long it actually takes to create Mistlands. We had a road bump today. Like, we figured out, like, okay, we can't just do this. This creature needs to drop something else. what can we link that to? It's going to be just boring if we go in and do this X and Y over here. It's not going to make sense if you can do that also over there. So there's a lot of things that might change, and where it's a lot of things up in the air. A lot of things are being done. Hopefully, we can get something out for you guys, but we cannot promise that just yet.
All right.
Yeah,
Very
Mistlands
good,
right
though.
now.
Very exciting. Yeah. Fair enough. Is there a book of lore coming out in game? Just more of that rich story, or are you just really trying to leave it open-ended?
That's a very good question. I'm going to have to say pass.
Fair enough. And then another one that came up in my chat, are any other ideas for defensive structures like trebuchet, ballista? I have one guy who is like super like, okay, can we have cannons? I want functional cannons. Can I have a mod? Can I pay a mod who will make functional cannons?
It's a Flammenwerfer.
Because I could see it with the iron cannonballs. Anyway, go ahead.
We had plans before. We still have plans. We just have to execute sometime in the future.
Okay. You have plans and you will not divulge more. I love it. Thank you.
All right. There's one final question from Jiroc. Do you have a wish list art project you would like to work on someday? Valheim or non-Valheim related? Just any? Video game, non-video game, physical, digital, whatever?
Ooh. That was a difficult question. I tend to be a person who dedicates my energy towards one thing. I've noticed, I've learned that if I have something else that is enticing me over the horizon, I tend to do bad work. So I wouldn't know what that would be. I'm very heavily invested in Valheim that it's difficult to see anything else. And I don't play that many. Like back in the day, okay, so I would have loved to work on League of Legends. Do something with League of Legends. I'm a huge fan of their characters, basically. If I could have done something with that, or in the future, that would have been fun, I guess. It's a difficult question. I'll say League of Legends, something Riot Games. I'm a huge fan of Riot Games.
Yeah, you've got two League of Legends players sat right beside you, both the morning and I. Not so much now because we're before Valheim, that is. Now Valheim is our life, so
Yeah, basically, I have been describing on my Twitch channel that I am a monogamous gamer.
Yeah,
and Valheim is my true love, and I might still see myself playing Valheim 20 years from now. I don't know. I got nothing. By the way, I find it funny that you are almost exactly 1 year younger than me. You're like.
Really?
A week short. Yeah, you're a week short of 1 year younger than me.
Nice. But then I'm going to have to ask you that because of League of Legends, that what lane and characters do you play?
I'm a huge support fan. Like even when I got into Valheim, I was a support player, so I was always Sona.
Sona, yeah. Sona is one of my mains too. I'm always bot lane because I can do mid as well, but I prefer bot lane because I like, again, all the games I play are multiplayer. I like playing with other people. For me, gaming is a social thing. I never really play solo games. So bot lane, it is usually with a friend and either ADC or support. And ADC, I would go for Misfortune or Jinx because they're both very fun to play. And
Gwen, are you and I the same person?
Yeah, I think we might be. Yeah, and they're fun. They're really fun characters. I love the design of them as well, and the animations and everything. Those two characters are great. And then Sona support, or I don't know. I cycle through a lot of different support characters. I do like playing Morgana support, which is a bit unconventional sometimes, maybe depending on what meta is, but. She's pretty pretty OP. So
I would like to comment that Lady Bambi, our great chandelier architect, has joined us.
oh,
I currently have my free fly camera staring straight at her.
hi Bambi.
We found you.
So thank you for your work on the chandelier.
Someone broke it.
Not this one, the one in the Great
main
Hall.
hall. Oh, the Great Hall. But the one that we see in here, too.
Oh, all right. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's not
I
broken.
should
Don't
have
worry. It's still there.
Yeah, this one is safe. I don't think
No
there will
drinks
be any
allowed,
mobs.
yeah?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I think unless anyone else has any more questions, I think we have gone through quite a lot. Thank you so much, Robin Grimmcore, for spending your birthday with us. It was great to be able to chat with you, and I'm sure we'll have you again at some point, and we'll chat some more because there's still a lot that we can chat about. And thank you so much.
Also, I just want to say thank you to anyone who plays Valheim and the appreciation that we've received, or that I have received. My experience in the game industry has been amazing, because this is the first project, or first real paid project, that I ever work on, that I get money, except for like exposure and fake revenue and stuff. And it has been such a wild, crazy ride, and we learned so much from you guys, from people, like getting feedback from your appreciation, from things that you hate. Basically everything that people say and talk about is something we try to listen to as much as we can, and it's really colored my vision of and my feeling and the energy around like being a game developer. I know at bigger companies people don't tend to hang out like we try to do at Iron Gate. But I'm so happy and thankful that we are allowed to, because some places you're not even allowed to talk about things outside of the company. That Iron Gate actually allows us to be able to hang out with you guys and talk like this, and talk pretty openly about things that we are doing and what we are planning. I want to say thank you so much, and it means a lot to me that I can come here on my birthday. That doesn't mean that much to me, because apparently I'm just getting older. I'm extremely thankful that I get to be here with you. Yes,
you've leveled up.
I'm more wise, they say, or they don't.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure I speak on behalf of all the active and engaged community. Is thank you to you and the whole Iron Gate team for having brought us this game that we all love to play, and will love to play for many years to come. So yeah, thank you everyone at Iron Gate. And we really appreciate you also spending the time with us, spending the time with the community, and spending your own personal free time to hang out with us. It's amazing.
Yeah.
It's but that's also really weird, because we're all just people. We're all just humans. We're just living here. We don't feel like we're more special than anyone else at Iron Gate. It's just like we're sitting down having our coffee or digital mead that we're drinking. So it's like, thank you so much for having me over. Thank you for making a sign out of circling heads and everything. I took a screenshot. I'm gonna send this over to everyone after this.
Yeah, make sure to tell your coworkers. This is how you make a surprise.
not just embarrassing you all day by clapping every time they see you. I'm just kidding. That must have been so funny. I love the trolling.
Oh, by the way, I found out how to counter their clap, and it was when we went into the Thai buffet place. Is when they start clapping, I started clapping too, so nobody knew who they were clapping to.
Smart.
That's great.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I'm gonna head to bed now, and please have a continued nice evening.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks everyone who followed on both the Twitch and YouTube streams and for sending all your questions and your comments. Robin, you'll see if you replay the chat, you'll see plenty of people saying happy birthday and thank you,
thank you.
for everyone
Thank you.
at Iron Gate for the game, and lots of love is being shared right now. So I hope you have a great rest of your evening, day, afternoon, wherever you are. And thank you again, Grimmcore, and see you around.
See you around. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to Podheim, Jiroc's Valheim podcast. We have new episodes coming out every Friday, and if you enjoyed listening, please support us by subscribing to the podcast on your favorite platform and leave us a rating and a review to help more Vikings find us. We also have a Patreon with perks for supporters like behind-the-scenes discussions, exclusive content, and segments that are edited out of the main podcast. And if you'd like to join our friendly Discord community, we have more than 1,000 people there. Just go to discord.gg/Jiroc the Viking. If you'd like to play on my Valheim servers, just go to my website at jiroctheviking.com and submit an application. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my supporters, some of them on Patreon, the YouTube membership, and the ones who help boost our Discord server. Your support means the world to me and inspires me to make more videos, as well as run a community Discord and multiple Valheim gaming servers. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my work, join our friendly Discord community and Valheim servers. Links can be found in the description below. Skål!